What is up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another TV talk. This week we're talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 5. I've already forgotten. Somehow 4, 5, 6, no 5. The penultimate episode. Here with me are the tremendous Luke Zook. Nope, I don't give Luke a name. Luke is below me, and Tyler is over there. Patty corner. I'm gonna be too lazy to put up little name tags, so if you don't know who we are, now you know who we are. I'm Brett. Guys, let's
the intro there.
Talk. We're not professionals. What are we doing here? I don't know. But let's talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 5, Truth, I think it's called.
Yep.
What'd you guys think of the episode overall? Full spoilers, by the way.
I thought the first half was great, and I thought the second half kind of just killed all the momentum the show had.
Well, I thought I was going to be the only one to say that, but yeah. I didn't really feel like anything happened after the first, 25 minutes. We got a cool training montage, I guess. So that was fun.
Oh, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
But it was also like the very last thing you see in
the
entire show. Or episode.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot there. It kind of, I think the episode with a 6-episode season, you can't really, your pacing has to be pretty deliberate. And this episode feels like it kind of lost track of that. But I do agree with Luke. I think the first, 20 to 25 minutes of this episode is fantastic. Kind of seeing the fallout of the previous episode.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. I thought just for me, it was really just the boat, which is about half the episode.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Captain America stories in general have been really quick and just giving you information. And I think this one, it just took so long to get through some of the conversations. And it didn't feel like the normal writers or the normal directors to me. It just felt entirely different.
So here's what I'll say, because I disagree to a certain extent, but I understand what you guys are saying. Because the second half of this episode, first half of this episode is a banger. The second half of this episode, I wanted more. I think this would have felt better if we had more of it sprinkled in through the entire series. But we kind of have this first episode where we're kind of in Louisiana, we're talking, we get to meet Sarah, and then we have 3 episodes, and they're long episodes, so it is a significant chunk of it where like that's just not really brought up at all. And then we're dedicating half of the penultimate episode to it. And I think it's all really good content. I love those interactions, and I'm fine with the like slower pace, but it does you're absolutely right when we talk about pacing in the story. It does grind it to a halt. Now, I was okay with that. It didn't bother me like it did you guys. But I can totally respect that like it is a weird like momentum shift for the series. And then we're gonna go, kind of right at the end we learn that we're going full throttle into the last episode again. So I think, my fix to that would have just to probably have had a little more of those moments sprinkled in through the series. That's probably hard with a 6-episode run like this when they're squeezing as much in as they can, but I think that would have helped. And maybe if they could have shortened it a little bit, but I did like it. I'll say I liked the entire episode.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I did like what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was that it took almost half the episode to get through that, and it felt so out of place.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they had kind of switched some of that, like if they had started with them back in Louisiana, started the episode. They had time to contemplate about what had happened. Then, John Walker's maybe like kind of in hiding, and they get a ping, and then halfway through the episode, they go and take the shield, and you have that kind of action scene halfway in the middle of the episode. And then you come back, and so you just break it up a little bit. Like you have 15 minutes kind of at the beginning, then you have this middle section, which is like crazy, and then the 15 minutes at the end where it's a little more retrospective, or they're just, figuring out what's going on. I don't know if that really solves the pacing issue, but I think it may have for some of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy their moments, Sam and Bucky, like their buddy cop moments, their moments where they're just kind of chatting. Like I enjoy those. I just feel like in the grand scope of a 6-episode arc, this episode just really killed everything.
Were there any moments you feel like, in particular, that were disappointing? Like you talk about, like, are you like the Bucky Sarah thing? Was that like that just wasn't necessary, or that was great?
No. Like that's the thing is like I think I agree like with Luke almost to a T. It's like I like the episode and I like what I got to watch. I just feel like this is not the episode for this. Like this was not the episode where we stop and effectively say, well, we've solved the problem for now. Like that just feels like the show is now disjointed at this point. Because like how many things have you seen where in short storytelling, right, like this, how many times have you seen somebody in the penultimate episode be like, yeah, well, we got it for now, so we'll just kind of hang back and we'll fix and paint this boat, or we'll build a fence, or you know what I mean? Like, no, usually the penultimate episode is where the heroes kind of get beat down, and then they have their moment where they're like, hey, we know what we need to do, and like we don't, like they know where they need to go. They don't even know, like, other than Carly, they don't really know the threat they're facing. Like we don't know what's happening. And so to me, that's just really strange. It's a strange way to go into a finale. Now, if the finale is an hour and 30 minutes, then sure. But if the finale is 42 minutes, like now we have this breakneck pace we're going to be.
Prepare for the fight scene. Just the fight scene.
That's what it's going to feel like. It's going to be like, because Carly has the line like, now we prepare for war. And it's like, what? So now are 2 people going to take on an army of super soldiers? Is that where we're at? Because I'm going to be honest, they got the crap kicked out of them by 1. Quite a while.
Yeah,
but they think they're going to be.
But Sam had that training montage. And now he's good to go.
Yeah, and right, like that's the problem. Is like you joke about it, but that's exactly it. Like, okay, cool, he's trained with a shield, kind of. He has a really cool looking stunt double who can do some flips, and you can obviously tell it's him. But what's Sam gonna do when the fighting starts? Yeah, like when there's 15 super soldiers attacking. Like, also Carly can apparently mind control people now too. Like that's a thing. I don't know. It's just weird.
So
it was a weird episode.
I do think they've kind of glossed over some of the the Flag Smashers. I feel like after like last episode we talked about how much we were like, okay, now we get the Flag Smashers.
And then they just completely,
and they kind of do not a 180, but they just are like, okay, now we just expect you to believe whatever's happening. Like, don't worry about it, because you're right. Like the fact that like 95% of the people who were there in Central Park or whatever just were all like, okay, let's go. Because I didn't necessarily pick up mind reading. I just assumed that they were like, we're all a part of the thing.
It was like in the first episode where Torres goes to investigate the cell phone invite he got when it pinged.
Right.
And
So they all kind of know something's going down there, and they're just waiting
they
for
got their ping to go to Central
Yeah.
Park, and now they're like, oh, and now we're going to fight people.
Yeah.
Fight the UN or
We
OC, whatever they're called.
We think so. And then literally less than 5 minutes later, one of the people from Central Park is now a security guard at the GRC. And I'm just like, what is happening right now? Are we already at this stage? Like, I just do, like, yeah, the Flag Smashers completely took a step back this week. They just feel like a really half-baked idea that have been kind of thrown into this for somebody to punch.
Well, we also seem to have gotten the little eye up in a bow with Zemo. How do we feel about his? I mean, I don't expect him to be back in the final episode. How do you feel his arc went?
I thought Zemo was great. He's probably been my favorite part of the show so far, and with the confrontation with Bucky at the Sokovia Memorial, I thought it was so good. And also, I'm like kind of like, how did I not see what happened there coming? Because even in the trailer, we have Bucky dropping the bullets, and I just assumed he was. I didn't think he would pull the trigger. First of all, I thought he'd just be like, "No, I'm not going to kill you." So I thought they did a good job with that. I mean, I was really excited there in the moment that it made me for marketing.
Yeah.
I agree. I loved it. I think Sebastian Stan just absolutely crushes it all the time. But in that moment in particular, you know, it's interesting. I think that scene would have been a little more interesting if him and Sam had their conversation first before he dealt with that. However, I do think that scene is really strong, and it kind of shows you where Bucky's at in this stage, which is really good.
Yeah.
I would say one thing that I don't really like about it, but I know why they did it, is the Dora Milaje not taking Zemo to Wakanda for his prison sentence.
Oh,
she's like, no, we're gonna take him to the raft. Oh, okay, so you can
break him
on the Thunderbolts. Okay, I got you. I got you. It's like, yeah, we're gonna take him to this other place for the war crime that he committed against us.
Yeah, that did seem kind of weird because they are very the Dora Milaje and the Wakandans are very much they tend to be a very like we operate in our own terms, and it does kind of feel like they're cooperating now with someone. They don't run the raft, right? So yeah, I thought that was interesting too. I'm just glad they're keeping him alive. So
yes.
Are they making a Thunderbolts like series?
Nothing announced yet. Nothing announced yet.
They
definitely
will.
They will.
Something's coming for sure. We kind of joked about it last week, but after this week, they are definitely moving in that direction.
Yep. What did you guys? So on the heels of that, then we cut to the one scene with Sharon Carter this week. Did Brett call it, or did Brett call it? She's Power Broker. She's got to be Power Broker.
I still don't believe it. I can't.
Don't believe it all you want. She's Power Broker.
If they do that, they blew it with her. She's not a villain. It's ridiculous. It goes totally against characterization of the character. Like, I can't believe they would do something like that. I mean, they did it with Hellcat and Jessica Jones. One of the worst characters in a Marvel series, definitely. But like, I think she's a Skrull or something. Ugh. I don't think it's actually her. Ooh. We got a Skrull in WandaVision.
Fucking hates.
That's
the Skrulls have been the Skrulls were fine in Captain Marvel for the characters they played because they did something interesting with them, and in everything else they've just been terrible. I hate seeing Skrull show up.
They're just
because it's just an easy bait and switch.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's either not actually Sharon, or Sharon is undercover. I still refuse to believe they would make her the power broker. And if they do, then it's so stupid.
I
Also,
could still be on the idea of that somehow she's doing something good in a bad position. Like she has acquired this power to undermine something somehow. I just haven't seen the evidence of that. They haven't done a good job of showing that, I
her
guess.
character is terrible.
Yeah, she's probably been the
She's so
disappointment in
uninteresting.
this, and not because of her acting, because of what she's been given.
And not
Yeah.
just in this, in Winter Soldier and in Civil War. She's also just a terrible character.
Mm.
She has like a total of what, less than 7 minutes
She
of
was
screen time in those two
Yeah,
movies.
it's
she was
not
a
much.
minor enough character in the other ones that I kind of forgave it. I feel like now
Oh, but
though,
she got that kiss though.
the kiss was weird. The kiss was weird. I don't know what
It's
the kiss
horrible.
was all about.
The worst scene in Civil
Not
War.
not not here for that. But
I would agree.
that was one of those decisions that had to have been made like before they had figured out the ending of Endgame and what they wanted to do with Cap. But
Yeah.
all
Oh
that to
yeah.
say,
I'll say this. You're probably right, Brett. She's the power broker. I will hate it and I will complain about it until the MCU is finally no more. But I still will refuse to believe that they're not doing some type of bait and switch with her.
I think to make it believable, they have to give you some kind of believable backstory to why she would do that. Because you're right, because we've seen her even after she's been, or she does the right thing even when she knows that there's like consequences. And so now that there have been consequences, it's hard to believe that she would just go rogue based on what
She
we've
knew the
seen.
consequences of stealing that shield and
Yeah.
wings.
Well, exactly. And in Winter Soldier, like she trusted Cap, like she was one of the ones who went against Hydra. So like
Mhm.
she has the core of being a good person, and so I hate to say, like, I'm laughing about it, but I do kind of hate to say that I think that my prediction's right. But we'll see. I guess we'll see what they do, and I'm not completely sold on it that it's a good thing. I'm just laughing that I think I got that prediction right.
Yeah. They'll probably never even address it.
Probably not.
She probably just killed Batroc and it will never come up again. Which would probably be even worse.
Yeah, if they leave that thread open, I think there will be a lot of angry people.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta get that Agent 13 show, man.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I'm
Nah, I'm
here
okay.
for
I can
more
live
of
without that.
her.
Yeah, I don't care about that show.
Yeah.
But I do
don't
think
need
they
that.
need I do think they need to really look at what they're doing with that character, and maybe
I don't think she shouldn't even be in the show, honestly.
she doesn't
Agreed.
need to be in this
She has
show.
no purpose.
She doesn't
It's
need to be
so
in this show.
stupid. It's so
She's
dumb.
she is kind of like
She's a cutaway scene in every episode.
who's the, oh my gosh, I can't remember her name from WandaVision / Thor.
Kat Dennings.
Yeah.
Marty. I don't remember her name either. I don't like her character.
I
So
thought her character was fine, but she really doesn't bring anything to that. Like, she's just there because we need an already established Marvel character.
Yep.
So, anyways,
enough ranting about Sharon.
let's talk about another villain since we're just on the topic of villains. John Walker. How do we feel about his scenes this week?
Hashtag Thunderbolt.
Sorry, go ahead, Tyler.
I loved his scenes. Honestly, I think Wyatt Russell's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that fans gave him so much crap for being good at his job because he's gonna probably go into hiding as far as these kind of roles moving forward. But man, if they do a Thunderbolts show and he's the leader of that, I'd be very pleased. I loved his scene with Battlestar's family. just kind of showing that, while he is kind of a bad guy in this, there is still a good part of him out there. Like, part of him is a good person.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
And
got totally different vibes from that scene. I from that scene I got like I'm here because I cared about Battlestar, my friend, but I don't really care about him now that he's gone, or I don't care about his family necessarily. I'm here because it's what my wife um that
told me I
we
should
need to
do.
do for optics, right? Like it was like a more of a, and not like a public PR stunt, but just like an optics stunt, I guess, or like a feel good about yourself, because it's already after we've seen that he's going down, or he's going to go down a path with a new character in the form of Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Val.
Ooh. Ooh. Madam Hydra, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
But before we talk about Val, Tyler, I do think you're right. He did a really good job acting in that scene. And even the little Senate meeting thing where he starts yelling at the senators, I thought that was fantastic. Like,
Yeah. I think call me crazy, but I think he's got a point
oh,
in that scene too.
yeah, you're
This
not
is
wrong.
the government has turned me into this. This is what you guys trained me to be.
He
And
was doing
now I'm being punished for it.
exactly what they hired him for.
Yep.
It goes to show the show is going to pretty good lengths to show the difference between John Walker and Steve Rogers, which is Steve was also made in the exact same way, but he was willing to say no to his superiors.
Mm-hmm.
He was willing to do the right thing, or what he believed was the right thing. Which, when you have, again, power, the theme here, power doesn't make you a good or a bad person. It just enhances what you already have.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they went with you're right, like a soldier who was trained to be this way. It has some criticism towards, U.S. military and how people or it at least has something to say about that. I won't even necessarily say criticism. I think it is criticism, but that's my interpretation of it, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No. And then, yes, Val, Luke, you got really excited.
I'm just glad Hydra's coming back, baby.
So
I think
Val
we kind of joked about
Valentine,
that last
or
week.
Fontaine.
It's if Captain America is involved, Hydra is somewhere around.
Oh no, that's what it was. My prediction last week that John Walker would become Hydra's Captain America.
Yeah, you did. You did say that, didn't you?
Almost there. Almost there.
I've basically nailed it. Oh,
My prediction was.
I love her as an actress. I
that Ray
think
was a clone.
she does a great job at being in her one scene. She like totally steals that scene, and
Yeah.
it's so good. I'm very excited to see. I guess there's rumors she may show up in Black Widow.
Yeah. That she was actually that was supposed
to
be
her
first
reveal.
appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be
did see that.
interesting to see how she plays out in the movies, and I'm all here for bringing in some big name actors and actresses to play these kind of leader roles.
Mm-hmm.
Her charisma is crazy, man. It's insane. Like, she's one of those characters that she hits the frame and you're like, "Yep, that's where my eyes are going."
Yep. Have either of you guys
Like,
watched Veep?
No.
She's
No.
got so much. You can just see, like, that show, I think, really.
Let me rephrase. I watched the first episode of Veep. Then I
you said
no.
Having watched all of Veep and having watched her play like kind of a morally bankrupt president in that show, it's I'm really excited to see what she can do with this, because you're right, she does have charisma oozing out of her performance.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, what else? What else did we miss? We missed. Oh, the we got the shield back. Um,
It's
that
crazy
that
that
fight.
we've
That
had
was a
better
that was a
conversation.
great fight scene.
Yeah.
It was.
Really enjoyed that fight scene. I thought it was a great way to kick off the episode. My heart was pumping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really good fight scene, and then I think more than the fight scene, Sam's, and this is why I kind of have wished he had gotten the shield an episode or two ago, because I think you could have hit on his journey of deciding what to do even more. I loved his little journey, how he gets different viewpoints from different people, his visit to Isaiah Bradley, and that conversation versus the conversations he has with Bucky, and just the weight of like, should he take up the shield as
Yeah.
Captain America? Like, what does that mean? What does that look like? Is it even possible? We get the line like, people will never accept a black Captain America, and like that's
An extremely valid
it's
question
so
or
good.
statement.
I'm so
Yeah.
glad that the show didn't shy away from just addressing these issues, because I think it would have been
Mhm.
very easy for them just to be like, oh yeah, superhero shot, here we go, let's do this. And instead, what I've seen through things like Black Panther, and now this, is that Marvel's not afraid to tackle some of these like racism issues and where we are today. And I'm super glad that it's just not glossed over. They're willing to talk about it.
It's been one of my favorite subplots throughout the season.
Yeah.
Honestly, just seeing Sam kind of come to terms with that and trying to make a decision that's well informed, like you kind of said, Brett. He goes around and gets all these viewpoints and tries to understand, where do I fit in this story of Captain America, and am I, if I am to take it up, what does that look like?
Yeah.
I think it's like just the statement of there can't be a black Captain America is it like just reflects even what I feel like a lot of fanboys and fangirls even just talk about. Like they talk about a black Superman, and there's people going, no, you
Yep.
can't do that. Superman is white in the comics, and it's just like, why can't you?
Yeah.
It's a person.
It's a character.
It's
a
a
fictional character.
It's like we have these own real conversations, and it's interesting to see that conversation break into the show too.
If it's a fairly short read, but if you, either you two or anyone watching, I recommend going over to the Hollywood Reporter. Richard Newby has an article there called "The Falcon and the Winter Soldier Reckons with an American Burden," and I think it's a really good article about this. I think I'll just read a quick snippet just because I think this really sums it up pretty well. We had a black president. We had a black president, right? Yet a black president alone, much like a black Captain America, isn't a solution. Solutions are confrontational, solutions are painful, and solutions prevent a return to the status quo. So how does Sam contend with an America that desperately wants status quo, be it Steve Rogers, John Walker, or another blonde-haired, blue-eyed white man? And like then it continues to go down and explore more. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but
Yeah.
I really appreciate that it's, because as
That the
three white
conversation is
boys
taking
here,
place.
we, our view on this is different than a black experience, and I really like that media is showing us that, because we have had the privilege of watching people who look like us just be the heroes and accept that. And I think the article says, like we've been saying, the easy thing to do would just be like, okay, yeah, here, look, black culture, here's a hero. Now let's talk about what the ramifications are of that. That's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I'm excited to see too, and we talk about Sam being Captain America. I'm excited to see how his suit differs.
I'm very excited to see that suit. They teased the
because
crap out of that. So
because I think what they're doing with him learning about being a and I want to be careful about how I say this because it can be taken the wrong way, but being a black Captain America, what they are going to do with his suit, I think, is going to highlight black features of a black man, and I think that's really cool and really important. Like I don't think his hair will be covered.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's important because
There's
it's a distinct feature.
Yeah, there's a lot of when he wears the Captain America costume in the comics. I think that's one of the features that the suit has as well.
Is that it doesn't,
and it's
cover
like
his
it's
hair.
the white mask. I think is the version I'm thinking of.
Okay, I think this
It's like the
suit will
white
be
and blue
gray.
suit.
I think the suit will have a lot of gray on it. I think what will be really interesting too is the suit will not predominantly be red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's not.
This is
he's not
this is
proud
the black
of
suit
his
that we
country.
want. Sorry, Snyder.
Yes. I think this suit will be a lot of gray and black. I think there will be some red, white, and blue accenting, but I think it's going to be, I think what's important to Sam is the U.S. is not doing the right thing by black people, and I think there's a statement there in his suit that will be made, and I'm very excited to see it. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Hyped. What are you looking up, Luke? Anything?
He's trying to find that
I'm just
picture.
looking up the comics Captain America Falcon suit or Falcon Captain America suit.
So speaking of the Falcon suit,
yeah,
I think we got our tease at our next Young Avenger. And what is the military guy's last name?
Torres.
I think Torres will be the next.
Is it like
Falcon.
walking?
Yeah.
Torres,
yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah, he gets to keep the wings.
Yes.
Gosh, that looks so good.
Is he showing up, you think, in final episode, or is that a reveal for another time?
Well, they got to fight an army, so I hope he shows up.
He's gonna drop in, baby.
They got to do something. I mean, two people are not beating an army of super soldiers and mind-controlled people. They'll just get overwhelmed. We need people. We need soldiers. We need good men.
He's gonna drop in through the skylight with the wings of floof.
Like Batman.
Well, like the Falcon.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. That's been one of those minor storylines that I've been pretty happy with, seeing him and Sam kind of have a nice little relationship there, and how it's been going. And
well, I remember in the first episode, Brett, you were like, I really like this guy. I'm glad he's not a throwaway character. Like it's cool to see, no, he does have a role, and a clear cutout role in the MCU moving forward. It looks like. The surprising part of that to me was that George St. Pierre is back. The guy from the first,
Ultron.
And his name, they call him George, and his name in real life is George, and that's really strange to me. But
what if they just messed up? No.
They may have.
I really like the Torres character, but now as I sit here, I feel like that character could have just been Sharon.
Yeah. Glad it's not, though, because we get a new Falcon now. I don't want Sharon to be the next Falcon.
No, I think
definitely not anymore.
Yeah.
He's trying to get Falcon or Captain America. Sam killed. I was gonna call him Cap. He's Cap.
He's Cap now. Oh,
she's gonna become a super soldier. I don't know if we're ready to wrap this thing up, but did you guys watch the post-credit scene with John building his own shield?
I missed that. Brett Allen, what did I do?
Watch the credits,
Have you
Okay.
learned
Always watch the
nothing watching
credits. There's
anything
great
Marvel
music.
related?
So
And
sorry.
there's always great music.
I'm
You're killing
disappointed.
us.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah,
I actually no. Here's the deal. I actually did watch through most of the animated credits, and then right at I think it's probably right near the end. I don't know. By that time I was on my phone scrolling through TikTok or whatever, and deciding what I wanted to do next. And I was like, "Ooh, that's right, new episode of Invincible." So I know.
Shame.
I always
Shame.
just listen to the music. I didn't even know it was there. I was listening to
Yeah.
the music and I was like, oh, this is good. Oh, there's a scene here. What's happening? And then I was like, oh, hey, my prediction is right. He is making his own shield. He's going to become a Hydra Captain America.
So what's he making? Does he have a secret source of vibranium, or what's he making his shield out of?
No, it's just a metal shield.
Okay.
And he's putting his military pins in the shield around it.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he's spray painting it red, white, and blue like the Cap shield too.
Okay. Does it still have a star in the
it's-
middle, or is it a different?
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
still a star in the middle.
Yeah, it has a star for now until they put the Hydra logo there.
It'll be really interesting to see how a super soldier with a non-vibranium shield goes up against a
It's not gonna bounce back.
man,
Or it shouldn't.
Sam, who doesn't have superpowers or super
Mhm.
serum, whatever strength, with a vibranium shield. I think that maybe that evens them out a little bit.
It'll be fun.
Will be.
Looking forward to it.
You mentioned the music, Tyler, and I just want to say it felt so good to hear that original Captain America theme, baby. Bring it on. It was so good. Feel like I haven't heard it in forever.
Is that what they played? Sorry, and I
That-
called it.
Sam's
that was
music was the Captain
okay.
America theme.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. I thought it sounded a little bit different, but
I'm sure it has tweaks.
yeah, because I loved it. Like,
Yeah.
no, he's back. Cap is back officially.
Yeah, he is, baby.
Yeah.
Not that faker in the sling.
It'll be interesting to see if we get if it will,
Yeah.
how much. I was kind of expecting a bigger difference in theme. Again, I'm not a musical guy. So picking up on minor differences.
It was just the training montage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think it'll be
wondering if-
different when he suits
That's what I'm
up.
hoping for. I hope we get it kind of has that Captain America feel, but it's a different.
But they've hired Ludwig.
Oh, they got Henry Jackman, baby. He knows what
They'll
he's
hire
doing.
Ludwig to come in and make it Sam's own, a trappy Captain America theme.
It's just the Mandalorian theme. That'd be awkward. Wrong
No,
show.
it's the Tenet thing.
Yeah. Also great.
Won't argue. Yeah. Any final thoughts before we wrap this puppy up?
See how they land the plane.
Yeah, I don't really have any predictions for next week. I'm just excited to see how it ends.
Me too.
I'm gonna stick with my prediction that I
That
kinda
Ray is
said
a
earlier.
clone.
Ray is a clone, and that the post-credit scene of the show will be Sharon will turn into a Skrull and be talking to the Skrull from WandaVision,
Mm.
and they're gonna keep teasing this
The Fury show, the Secret Wars.
and Secret Invasion show for Nick Fury. Yeah,
I still don't understand that, but okay.
it's a major comic.
But wasn't the whole thing about Captain Marvel was that the Skrulls weren't actually the bad guys? That was what.
Some
That's
of
what
them.
was like different about.
Some of
this?
them are good guys. Yeah,
Some of them are good.
Ugh.
it is a really big story in the comics that people love. So
Well,
Especially
I guess
since,
they're
like-
starting to plant the seeds early, I suppose.
In the animated show, I haven't really read the whole comic run, but Captain America is revealed to be a Skrull. It wasn't the real Captain America. Well, Captain America's dead now, so I feel like it's gonna be a Captain America character, and I feel like it could be her. And she's amassing power in the criminal underworld or something. I don't know. I don't like it. I just think that's what they're gonna reveal.
Well, we'll see what happens. And we may be disappointed. We may be pleasantly surprised. Who knows?
Probably both.
Maybe a little of both.
Perfect.
But yes, very much looking into our final episode here. We should I don't know. We'll do something fun for a final episode. Figure out something.
Do I need to go buy a costume?
Yes.
Okay. I'm in.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching this week's a little bit longer than normal episode of TV Talk. You can find our podcast episode breakouts over here on the screen over that way. Nope, that way. And you or just find all the links on whatthefanboy.com. And until next week, we'll see y'all.